just started.
Okay. Let's wait a second after your recording started because the beginning and ends of all the recordings get clipped for some reason.
Right.
Okay. Hello there, guys. It's me, Sam.
And me, John.
And this is Sam and John's Book Club. Named so because it is a book club hosted by us.
Sam and John.
Makes a lot of sense when you think about it.
We're reading section 2 of part 2 of Oathbringer, book 3 of the Stormlight Archive.
And
by Brandon Sanderson.
I ordered the limited edition leather bounds of The Way of Kings.
Oh, yeah? Uh-huh.
Yeah, best $200 I ever spent. Pretty sure. I mean, they haven't arrived yet, and they won't for like a year. But I'm very excited to go full collector on all these books.
Yeah, I got my girlfriend started on Mistborn as well. So the good news of Brandon Sanderson is being spread far and wide as we speak.
Yeah. Hopefully she'll like it. I mean, I certainly like Mistborn a lot more than Elantris.
Yeah, me too.
So hopefully she will as well.
Right. We just watched Ocean's 11 too, so I'm like, I mean, safe bet.
You got her in the heist mood.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
I just watched a movie last night called A Knight's Tale.
Oh, that's a great movie with Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger, yeah, it was really good.
Yeah, I watched that a few months ago for the first time.
And I bring that up because it's very closely tied to Oathbringer in that sword in both. Yep. So there we go. It all ties in.
Yeah. Right.
All right, so we begin this reading with a meeting between all of the Radiants. You know, Jasnah has returned. Bada bing, bada boom. That happened kind of last time we talked. Kaladin is back now, and they're all in a meeting with Dalinar doing Knights Radiant, trying to figure out the future of everything and what they're going to do.
Yep.
Jasnah is worried about being spied on. We start out with her. She decided to get a room kind of in the middle of the tower instead of having windows and stuff. She's like blocked her vents to make sure people can't listen to her through the vents. Yeah. She's showing a little bit of paranoia, but given her history with the Ghostbloods, I think it might be healthy.
Right, yeah. She literally had at least one, assassination attempt, so...
Yeah.
Can't really blame her.
During this meeting, so Shallan has learned at this point that Kaladin is in fact the one that killed Helleran, right?
Yep.
And I was expecting kind of a confrontation between them. In which she would be like, why did you keep this from me? Like, we had this conversation down in the chasms, right?
Right.
And you knowingly hid this information from me, right? And I thought she was going to be very angry at him, but in fact, what's happening instead is that they're in this meeting, and Shallan is looking at Kaladin and thinking like, damn, is it just me? Or is brother murdering kind of hot?
Yeah, she's like doing the thing where I don't know what Kaladin's last name is, but she's like writing
Stormblessed
with his she's writing like Shallan Stormblessed in her notebook over and over again, putting little hearts like all over the page.
Yeah, she's like drawing a hot picture of Kaladin's face, and she's saying to herself like, well, he murdered my brother, but like he didn't know. He was just protecting his High Lord, right? It's fine.
Right.
Anybody would have murdered my brother under those circumstances.
I would have murdered my brother. You could have told me it was Amaram, and I would have done the same.
Yeah, so I mean, Shallan, we're kind of overselling it, but Shallan is just like... Yeah,
she's just surprisingly okay with it.
Brandon Sanderson wanted there to be a love triangle, and he's not going to let a little bit of brother murder stop that,
Right, yeah. God forbid.
So, jeez.
Also, Jasnah, she's back, and that whole dynamic between her and Shallan is awkward as we kind of hypothesized. Jasnah's telling her to take shorthand notes, and Shallan's like, really?
Yeah. Shallan was super cool with being a ward back before Jasnah died, but now Shallan has been accustomed to being her own woman, I guess, for too long.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. It's weird.
She takes some notes, starts doodling. Jasnah sees that she's doodling, kind of calls her out on it, and she's like, look, you're going to be my ward until you can do the most basic stuff, like shorthand notes, all right? That's that. And Shallan's like, you're not my mom.
Yeah.
And that's kind of that whole deal.
There was actually a good line she had about, like, an apprentice baker wouldn't be allowed to stop being an apprentice baker just because he got good at swordplay or something, right?
Right. Yeah.
I think
yeah, it kind of makes sense.
I think I've changed what sort of apprentice it was and the thing they got good at, but I mean, it's the concept.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
a nice little line. We also learned that they're talking about Kolinar, which has become kind of a hot topic. They're sending an expedition there to check it out. They want to open the Oath Gate. Stuff is maybe kind of sketch. It might be occupied by the Voidbringers. Who knows? And we learned that Kolinar is a dark spot for the Stormfather. Like, the Stormfather cannot see Kolinar.
Right.
Also, span reeds are no longer functional in Kolinar.
Yeah, something's going on.
This all seems kind of pretty sketch. Also, we do learn that the fused are immortal.
Yep.
Even if a fused is killed, the Voidspren will just take over another Parchment's body. So Yasna says, in a way that just makes perfect sense and isn't totally evil, we just need to exterminate all of the Parshmen.
Every single one.
So the Voidspren have no hosts. Right?
Right.
And I just wonder, like, why are smart people so evil in Brandon Sanderson's books?
Yeah.
Like, when Taravangian got really smart, he was like, eugenics.
Gotta
do some eugenics.
Get it popping, yeah.
And obviously Yasna is incredibly intelligent, and she's like, gotta exterminate all of the Parshmen, gotta find the heralds and kill them, she says. That's her idea as well.
Yeah, to basically send them back to damnation, to hold them back once more.
Yeah, send them back to the spooky Hell Dream.
Like, they've determined exactly how this works, and they know, like, for a fact that is a temporary solution. And they're like, Yasna's like, yep. I mean, that's what we know. That's what we got to do.
Yep, they're gonna send them back to torture hell, and then they're gonna crack again.
Consequences later.
They're gonna crack again. Yeah, they're gonna let the Voidspren, the desolation begin anew, right? And maybe that will buy humanity some time, I guess.
Right. Yeah.
However,
so the longer they're back in damnation, maybe they plan to make an actual plan.
I'm just thinking about, like, the resources and the time it must require to hunt down and kill all of the heralds. Yeah. I wouldn't know where to start with this, right?
No, yeah.
So the question is, like, how much time will it buy them? I feel like it would have to be a substantial amount of time for it to be worth, like, attempting this plan.
Right, because they have what? They have a read on one of them that they don't know where he is, but they've seen him. And we as a reader know about two of them.
Yeah, I mean, killing the heralds, I think it's just a bad idea. I think let's not do this personally.
Yep. And so Kaladin is kind of fighting Yasna the whole way, saying, like, we got to keep these innocent Parshmen alive. They didn't do anything. You know, like, this isn't their deal.
Yeah.
But their hosts, their eventual hosts, got to kill them.
Got to kill them. There's a point in time where Yasna talks to Shallan. She gives Shallan a beautiful opportunity for Shallan to confess about working with the Ghostbloods, right?
Yep.
And Shallan has the line, she wasn't working with the Ghostbloods. That was Vale. Right? This isn't a line she says. It's not like dialogue, but it's like from her perspective, you know?
Right. It's her thought, yeah.
And every time, like, it's been established that Shallan thinks of her alternate personalities as different people, and they think of Shallan as a different person. But every time it's, like, my attention is drawn to it so directly, I'm always like, oh, geez. Oh, this is not healthy.
This is mental illness a-brewing.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't think it's even it's a brood.
Yeah, I would say the danger meter has dipped dangerously far into the orange at this point.
I think it's Shallan's Spren that says that the Pillar Room has memories.
Yep.
And don't know exactly what that means. Very cryptic.
Yeah.
Also, Helloran was a Skybreaker working under Nalan. I feel like we already knew that, right?
I feel like, we had something that was less explicit about that, but pretty.
But here it's given to us just flat out. Helloran was a Skybreaker. Right. He was working under Nalan, and killing Amaram was probably the last thing he was going to have to do before he started, like, being given Skybreaker powers by Nalan.
Right. Yeah, that was probably his kind of prove it mission.
Yeah. Okay, and that pretty much wraps up that chapter. Okay, we get a nice talk between I want to say Shallan and what's the Ghostblood's name? Maraise?
Murray is, yeah.
And he's telling her about there are 2 other organizations besides the Ghostwoods that are concerned with the return of the Heralds and the Voidbringers.
Yep.
One of those organizations is the Sons of Honor, and that's Amaram. That was Gavilar as well, actually.
Yep. That's the Bring the Voidbringers Back first party.
Yep. They want to bring back the Desolations so that they can bring back the Radiance, which we knew. And he also adds that they also want to bring back the old power of the Vorin Church.
Right. Yes.
Which I don't think we've established before, but now we know
Right,
that's like an alternative motive for them.
Right. Yeah. That's just another pillar of their whole apocalypse gang.
Yeah, and then the other organization that is concerned with the return of the Heralds and Voidbringers is the Skybreakers.
Right.
They are the only Order of Knights Radiant that did not betray their oaths during the Recreants. They never actually disbanded. That order has like existed as like a clandestine, like vigilante justice unit all along.
Much. Yep.
Of course, they actually do act within the law, so I guess they're not vigilante.
Yeah, they're pretty much like they're straight up lawful evil.
Yes, and they believe that people speaking the oaths will hasten the return of the Desolations, or at least that's what they believed. However, in Edge Dancer, Nalan's eyes were open to the fact that the Desolations have returned, so I suspect that they are no longer hunting potential Knights Radiant, right? Okay. Yeah, he also says that they knew that there was somebody close to bonding a Spren in Shallan's house, which is Shallan herself, right? It sounds like they thought it might have been Helleran. The Skybreakers thought it might have been Helleran when they like recruited him.
Yeah.
But actually, it was Shallan.
Yep. No such luck.
And there was also someone close to bonding a Spren in Amaram's army, which at first I'm like, oh, that's Kaladin.
Yeah.
But then they said it wasn't Kaladin. Like that, whoever that other person was had been long since eliminated.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Something like that. It caught me off guard.
Huh. Yeah.
So this makes me think this is maybe another character we know about. Maybe it's Kaladin's brother.
Oh.
Because who else do we know about in Amaram's army who had been eliminated a long time ago? Right.
Right. We only know about the people that like. In Amaram's army, we only know about the people that Kaladin like fought with before he killed Helleran.
Yeah.
Like Dalit and all of them. But it doesn't seem likely that it would be one of them. So
maybe Kaladin's brother was close to bonding Spren at one point. I mean, he's this sort of he's a character. I can see that happening. I can see some Spren taking interest in him.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Huh.
All right. Well, I think let's actually move even further onward. We've been skipping over, John, all of the epigraphs so far. Yeah. And that's been because they have all been parts of a letter. It turns out that the epigraphs through part 2 actually make up 3 letters.
Oh.
And as of this chapter, we have just finished the first. So let's go ahead and read it in full.
Yeah.
Dearest Cephandrius, I received your communication, of course. I noticed its arrival immediately, just as I noticed your many intrusions into my land. You think yourself so clever, but my eyes are not those of some petty noble to be clouded by a false nose and some dirt on the cheeks. You mustn't worry yourself about race. It is a pity about Aeona and Sky, but they were foolish, violating our pact from the very beginning. Your skills are admirable, but you are merely a man. You had your chance to be more, and refused it. No good can come of 2 shards settling in one location. It was agreed that we would not interfere with one another, and it disappoints me that so few of the shards have kept to this original agreement. As for Uli Da, it was obvious from the outset that she was going to be a problem. Good riddance. Regardless, this is not your concern. You turned your back on divinity. If race becomes an issue, he will be dealt with, and so will you.
Bum bum bum.
Bum 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 bum. Okay, so
I'd argue race hasn't been dealt with.
Who do you think this Cephandrius is?
Oh, geez. So they're talking about the shards all up in this, right?
Yep.
And that's like the god-like beings of each world or whatever?
Yeah, so let's actually talk about this a little bit. I watched a brief YouTube video titled What is the Cosmere on Brandon Sanderson's YouTube channel.
I was going to watch that, yeah.
Yeah, so it turns out that at one point there was one god named Adonalcium.
Okay.
which is a word I think we've seen come up before.
That sounds familiar.
And when this god died or was shattered, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was shattered into 16 shards, each one representing some aspect of himself. Right. So these are the shards we've become aware of, right? For example, honor, preservation and ruin, right?
Right.
Etc. Etc.
Yeah.
And all of these shards have these names like honor, or whatever, but they also have the names of the people that like took them up and like became these kind of pseudo gods, these shards of God,
demigods, right?
Yeah. So so Aeona and Sky, we know that they were the two shards on Cell, I want to say. Or no, Cell was the world.
Cell's Elantris.
Okay, I think they were the ones on Cell.
Okay.
And they at this point have been killed. I think we learned that in a letter in maybe even the first book. They were killed by
Right,
race.
because that makes sense that they're Cell too, because Aeon is the whole magic system.
Yeah. All right. I believe they were the ones on Cell, and they were both killed by race already. However, Uli Da, I think this is the first time I've ever heard that name.
Yeah, that doesn't sound familiar.
Yeah. So do you have a theory about who Cephandrius is, John?
Nope.
Well, I'm gonna tell you. I'm pretty darn sure I know who it is. It's gotta be Hoyd, dude.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Because I mean, Hoyd he already sent out one letter saying like, hey, let's stop
That's
raids.
true.
And now this is clearly a response to a similar letter, right?
Yeah, I suppose it is.
So I believe that the author of this is one of the shards themselves, right? Because they're saying like, I noticed your intrusions into my land, right? Mm-hmm. So Hoyd has been world hopping, right? He went somewhere. He went into the worlds of one of these shards in disguise. They refer to him as Cephandrius, which might have been his original name way back when.
Yeah.
Right.
Before he took on Hoyd. Yeah.
They're saying that you turned your back on divinity. Sorry, you're merely a man. You had your chance to be more and refused it. I think what this means is that Hoyd could have been one of the 16 if he wanted to.
That's what it sounds like.
He was there way back when, and he was like, "Nah, I'm not interested." This means that Hoyd is as old as the Cosmere itself, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like, he is as old as the shards,
Yeah.
Which is just kind of
pretty
nutty.
much. Yeah. It's not like super groundbreaking given that he's Tom Bombadil, but
yeah. No good can come of two shards settling in one location. So far, we've like only been familiar with worlds with two or more shards, right?
Right.
Because
that was the whole point of Mistborn.
Yeah, the only world I'm aware of that only has one shard is the one where White Sand takes place.
Oh, okay.
And I believe the shard there is called Autonomy. And it's just one.
Sure.
And does the world where Warbreaker take place have more than one shard? I don't know. I don't know the shard on Warbreaker World.
I don't know what that is. Yeah.
Oh well. Okay. So that's what I've got out of this letter. So I just wanted to talk about that stuff.
Yeah.
Cephandrius,
maybe Hoyd. Yeah. That makes sense.
Actually, and well, John, I've already read the entire second letter as well, which does give further evidence that Cephandrius is Hoyd. So I'm pretty confident about that. But we'll talk about that letter once we've read a few more chapters. Actually, we have to get through. We'll read it next week,
section.
kind of partway through, as well as the third letter in the chapter once we finish the part.
Sure. Okay.
So yeah. Okay. Oh no, it's a Teft chapter, John.
Oh boy, but at least now we know.
Yes.
This really illuminates what Teft's problem is. He's kind of a junkie.
He's a drug addict,
Yeah, he's really into fire moss.
Bummer, man. Bummer.
Yeah.
Also,
but I'm glad to know this chapter was disappointing, but at least it kind of reduced some tension on why he keeps disappearing and stuff.
Yes. We've been developing more and more Teft questions, and now we finally received a Teft answer.
Right.
So yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So he is real bad on the stuff. He needs it to function.
Yep.
It's he has kind of a suicidal episode, and that's kind of the gang finds him and he realizes how big of a problem this actually is.
Yeah. Yeah, so...
And they're telling him they'll help him if he'll let him, and he's like, okay, I guess I'll let you help.
Well, what he's saying is that even as he's telling them, like, "Oh yeah, you guys are right," yada yada, it's all just an excuse to make them stop bugging him so he can get back to doing drugs later, right?
Right, yeah. And he realizes that he's guilty about it, but like that's just he needs it. He's that addicted to it.
He does not intend to change, right?
Right.
He is a drug addict, and that's just in his mind. That's just who he is.
That's how it is. Yep. That's how it goes. Yeah. It's funny. I just finished the first season of Umbrella Academy. So just, oh man, Klaus, best character. People told me that when I started watching it, and I was like, "What's so great about him?" In the end of season 1, you're like, "Oh, he's so good."
He stays similarly good in season 2. So
I imagine. Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah, it was fun.
Teft, besides being a drug addict, also is like a straight up Knight Radiant.
Yep.
Not one of Kaladin's squires. He has his own spren following him.
Right. Yeah. Oh boy, Teft. Ah, jeez.
Yeah.
You really just you answered questions in a way that I'm not happy with.
I'm sure that Teft will get past this. I'm just worried about how long it'll take. We got 7 books left, John. I mean,
he's got time.
I am concerned for how turbulent Teft's journey will be, right?
Yeah.
This may be a toughie for our boy Teft.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens.
All right. That's all I have on Teft.
Yep.
Moving forward, bop, we have the Stormfather pulling people into visions, which I like.
Into the visions.
That was a song. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
It's a little group movie night.
Yep.
Dalinar and Monarch of X land, you choose.
Yeah. So in this case, he has brought in our boy, what's his name? What's the kid's name?
Yanagon.
Yanagon. Yon?
Yeah, I don't know how it's...
What does Lift call him? Lift has a nickname for him.
Yeah, Gox, I think.
Gox!
Yeah, Gox.
Gox, that's his name.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Alright, so we have Gox. He's been pulled into a vision. He doesn't have all of his advisors with him. However, he still has... He started to kind of get the hang of this whole acting regal thing and not instantly trusting people and whatnot.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So it's not like Dalinar is just here with some kid, right? He is here with some kid who is also kind of legitimately the prime Occasix of Aesir.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it honestly goes better for Gox than I would have expected.
Right, yeah. Yeah, exactly. It went better than I thought it would.
They're talking about John. He's walking through all of this destruction, all of this wreckage. He's passing corpses. He's passing crumbled, like, stone constructs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he also mentions at one point a whole heap of cremlings burnt and smoking.
Ooh.
Did you catch that?
No, I didn't. I passed that right by.
John, we know a character who is literally a whole heap of
who
cremlings.
That is. I think I just kind of categorized it as just like more description of the setting. But yeah, that's our boy.
I don't know if that's our boy, but that is someone of his race. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if he's unique.
Yeah, I don't know if they're all that way. Yeah, but we know somebody that was a Kremling abomination monster. I
just didn't want this detail to skip by us because this was very exciting to me. I don't know how significant it is, but it's like thank you, Brendan Sanderson, for putting this fun little Easter egg in there.
Right,
I appreciate it.
I looked right past it.
Yeah. So yeah, Dalinar talking with Gox, saying like, hey, I know how this looks, but I really don't want to help. Let's just buddy up. I'm not helping the Voidbringers. I'm not crazy. And Gox is like, I don't know. And it looks like Dalinar is probably going to be able to bring him around. But then,
oh no. Oh, God.
Lift shows up. Lift just straight up hijacks the vision.
Just pops into the dream, yeah.
Yeah.
And as we know, anywhere Lift is, chaos follows.
Yeah. I mean, at least Lift gives us more than just chaos, John. She gives us life lessons.
That's true.
Namely, never trust old men with nice butts.
Mm-hmm.
That's just... Wow.
That...
Spouting wisdom. Thanks, Lift.
Right. You know how many connections I had to cut off after reading this chapter
Seriously.
for my own well-being.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, Downer's butt is too nice.
Yep.
And therefore he can't be trusted.
Mm-hmm.
And Lift just, like, takes Gox and they just both leave the vision.
Right, they just slip on out of there.
Yeah.
Bummer, man.
Well, that could have gone better.
Yeah, that was going so well.
The Stormfather calls Lift different, unnatural. He says she goes too far. She, I think in this case, being the Night Watcher.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And he says that Lift was created specifically to defy the will of the Stormfather.
Huh. Interesting.
So Lift is an abomination, and that's cool.
All right, yeah. Hey, just another pancake onto the stack that is Lift, shall we say?
Yep.
Ugh.
Moving onwards.
Mm-hmm.
We have a chapter on freaking Moash.
Moash, what have you been up to, buddy boy?
Hey, buddy. Hey,
how's it going?
I wonder if he's doing any better since he, tried to murder the king and then fled after he betrayed Kaladin and all of his friends.
Yeah, I'm sure that decision will work out for him in the long run.
I'm sure that he'll be fine, yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
I think that'll be great.
So he is having a really difficult time letting go of Bridge 4.
Mm-hmm.
Graves is like, cut that patch off, burn it, and Moash is like, no, I don't want to.
They're my buddies.
Yeah, and he's thinking about them. He's like, this food sucks. I wish I was eating Rock's food. I wish I was sitting around the fire with all my buddies,
Yeah, so he takes the patch off, but he tucks it away.
Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe Moash is not too far gone. Maybe he could have a Zuko-style redemption arc. Who knows?
Right, yeah. It's kind of interesting that the symbols for each chapter, every time it's Bridge 4, it's like the shoulder with the patch, and the Moash, it's the same coat without the patch.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the...
Oh, wow.
You can see it on these chapter summaries, too. Like, if you scroll up to the chapter 41...
Oh, I don't have the chapter summaries pulled up.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm back to taking real notes.
That's right, yeah. But, yeah, that's some pretty straightforward symbolism.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. They get attacked by some Voidbringers, their little caravan.
Yeah, they're the fused.
And Graves just straight up dies.
Yeah.
Oh,
man.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought he was going to be more important, but
yeah.
There he goes.
Oh, actually, John, now that I think about it, there is another organization concerned with the return of the Voidbringers and the Heralds that the Ghostblood, that Maraise did not mention, and that is the diagram.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Right? So maybe he doesn't know. Maybe the Ghostbloods are unaware of the diagram.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like they've kept a pretty tight lid on that.
I don't know.
And gang.
I mean, Graves told Moash about it, right?
That's true, yeah.
I feel like you could find out about it.
Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. Moash gets in a fight with some of these Voidbringers, some of these flyy boys, and we learn a couple of things about them.
Mm-hmm.
They don't heal, right? He says she didn't heal as Kaladin would have.
Right.
So they cannot heal.
Right. So also, they're immortal, but they don't... Yeah, they can't just...
Well, they can't... The Voidspren are immortal.
Right.
The Parshmen they inhabit are very mortal.
Right, yeah.
I also have to wonder, I guess, Voidbringers can fly, which seems a lot like this gravitation surge, right?
Yeah.
Also, it seemed like one of these Voidspren, there was a line where, like, Moash thought that she was going to try launching him into the sky, like, switching his gravity like Kaladin might do in his fights, right?
Yep.
So it seems like they do straight up have this gravitation surge, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But so far, I feel like every Voidbringer we've seen has done gravitation and only gravitation, right?
Yep, yeah. I mean that, and they're like spooky lightning.
Oh, yeah.
The Sith lightning.
But
I don't know
that
if that's
wasn't
a surge by itself.
Yeah, you're right. It makes me wonder, are they actually doing surges, like the same surges the Night Radiant have, or is this a different thing altogether? Is this apples and oranges?
I feel like it's probably more similar than different, because it's like, they seem kind of like dark Night Radiants almost, because they have a Spren inhabiting him rather than a pairing, and we know that Spren and Parshendi are pretty pretty close anyway, just in general with their forms and whatnot. So
yeah,
but
I don't.
Brandon Sanderson does like his magic systems that are Venn diagrams, kind of. So
I guess what I'm wondering is, are we gonna meet Voidbringers who can do like illusions or heal each other or whatever?
all right.
Or do they all? Is there one type of Void Spren and it just gives gravitation and maybe like ruin or like destruction or something? I think one of them is called that. One of the surges.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we also saw those, but it's hard to say because like they talk about all the different forms being from the two types of Spren, and then the Void Spren are their own third type. So I don't know if there's like multiple types of Void Spren in that category, or they're just so different from the other ones that's why they're their own group.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to like kind of figure out here.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they end up capturing Moash. He puts up a good fight, but he gives up his shard blade really easy. They're like, give up your shard blade. He says, okay.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. What good did it do me? And he just tosses it aside. So like that was interesting.
Yeah.
The Voidbringers appear to be hunting shards, like just trying to collect them in mass.
Right.
Which makes sense.
Yeah, they're pretty OP.
Yeah.
So I'd say Moash, he's doing just as well as Bridge 4. All things considered, captured by Voidbringers, lost his shard blade. Hey, great decision.
Yeah, he's doing really good. And they carry him away. Okay. And now we're back to another meeting. This one is about Fabrials and stuff. Shallan is there. So is Renarin. And I have like almost no notes on this. Dalinar shows up at one point just to like make it so Renarin doesn't feel awkward about being the only man in the room.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Dalinar's a cool dad.
The only thing we've like kind of passed over is that one girl that was talking to Shallan. She's like, hey, let me join the Ghost Bloods. And Shallan's like, no.
Yeah.
Ishna or whatever her name is. Ishna.
So Shallan is like using her.
Right.
She's kind of throwing her ghost blood weight around, and I wonder how Mraize will feel about that.
Yeah,
because he'll inevitably find out. I'm sure.
Oh yeah, he knows everything.
I think he might be cool with it though. She's just like manipulating someone.
Right. Yeah, just using them to help him out. So she's kind of using this person to train her, group of vagabonds to be like spies.
Yeah.
So she's kind of taking two parties that are sort of useless to her and making them better with each other.
Yeah.
So we'll see, what that does. But yeah, otherwise the meeting isn't that big of a deal.
Okay, we're back to Moash already. Bada bing, bada boom. The Voidbringers flew him back to actually, I think the same place Kaladin had been.
Mm-hmm. It seems like that. Yeah, where all the Parshmen are going. They're like independent city.
They're like setting a base there. Yeah.
Mm.
He said that during their flight, they did not use lashings to reduce his weight. They just carried him the whole way.
Right.
Which makes me wonder, like, can they actually do that, or is this a different thing? Is this just flight?
Right.
And they can't do lashings.
No surge whatsoever.
On other things.
Yeah. Because you'd think that even if they could carry him, they would lash him anyway, just to make it easier.
Yeah.
But
it seems like the Parshmen are legitimately trying to be better to the humans than the humans were to them.
Right. Yeah.
He says that like they, if the shoes get worn out, they replace them immediately. They're trying to let the humans do what they want to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it seems like they're trying to be good people while also being slave owners. So a little awkward.
Right. Yeah.
I say luckily for Moash, there are more light eyes to hate because.
Thank goodness.
He was sitting there like, oh, this is cool, now finally humans are all on an even playing field, and then it turns out they're not, and actually there's a Light Eyes who had been a lord, and now he's still kind of in a position of power over other humans.
Definitely still a hierarchy, yeah.
So, yeah, Moash doesn't have to stop hating Light Eyes just yet.
Yep, thank goodness.
Yeah.
If he ever does, he'd be too different. That's his most fun character trait.
We get
just like it was for Kaladin.
We get a scene back with Scar. Scar's the main character of this one.
Yep.
And he's helping other people learn how to do Stormlight, and that's going well, but he can't figure it out himself. Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
And it's a meme where he's like, I guide others to a treasure I cannot possess. You know that meme, John?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, then it turns out he can possess it though, because he does start
Right.
to. So.
Yep.
Bada bing, bada boom.
That whole chapter, yeah, I was like, ah, bummer, man. And he's like, maybe I'll have to go be a cook or whatever. And then at the end, Rock is like, oh no, you got it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, Bridgefort's all figuring it out. This was just a nice little scene where,
Right, just
Scar he's like a name that comes up a lot, but if you ask me to
Yeah.
describe Scar, I don't know if I'd really be able to all that well.
Right. Well, and he was always grouped with like Moash when they were first together because they were the two that were like doing the best besides Rock at spears and stuff. So
Yeah. So I don't know. It
yeah,
was
now
nice to
he's-
just get some raw, unfiltered Scar.
Yeah, he's the new Moash,
Yeah. Hopefully with a little bit less traitorous tendency.
Right. Yeah, that'd be perfect.
All right. Bada bing, bada boom. Now we're watching who? Yasna, I guess.
Yep.
Ivory, her spren, he's telling her Shallan is unstable, and Yasna's like,
No.
"Oh, you think all humans are unstable?" And I'm like, "No, Yasna, you should be listening to him right now. Shallan is actually
Yeah.
very unstable."
Substantially so. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, there's a weird line about Yasna's past here.
Mhm.
This is maybe some of the most significant stuff that honestly happened in this reading. I don't know.
Yeah. This
But-
was a lot of not filler exactly, but just kind of keeping checks on random people.
Yeah. There are glimmers of memory from a dark room, screaming herself ragged, a childhood illness no one else seems to remember.
Mm-hmm.
It showed her people she loved could hurt her.
Whoa. What is going on?
What happened there?
Yeah.
Yasna? Huh?
Yeah, hey, are you okay, kiddo?
Like, it's been hinted at that Yasna has a bit of a past, right? Before. Like, even back
Yeah.
when she killed those thugs in that alleyway, way back in book 1, remember?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Shallan commented on seeing something in her eye, like, what have people done to you? To
Right,
make you...
that made you so cold-hearted.
Yeah, so, I mean, maybe we'll find out.
Yeah.
I like getting hints about Yasna's past because, I don't know, maybe it's because she was dead for a book and a half, but Yasna's pretty mysterious right about now.
Right, I'm waiting for book 4 to be her flashbacks.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Wouldn't surprise me at this point.
What?
Wouldn't surprise me at this point.
Yeah, I think it's actually been confirmed whose flashbacks they were, but I don't remember
really?
for sure.
And
I
who
think
else could
Lucas
it
has
even
told
be?
me.
Huh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Inkspren is the name of Ivory. He's an Inkspren.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, cool.
Alright, sure. Hey, why not?
Ivory says, we must tell the others what we learned from Wit. Yasna says,
Right.
no, the secret would destroy them.
Mm-hmm.
And Ivory agrees this secret would destroy anyone but you.
Whoa, thinking high of each other now, I see.
Okay, so Yasna knows some
Right.
big truth bomb from Wit,
Right.
but it's just a secret, and we just can't know about it.
Right, and
Lame.
Ivory even says, like, it would cause the recreants to happen again.
Yikes.
If people found out.
That's
so,
a big freaking secret.
Yeah. Because, yeah, what was that whole deal when we find out Yasna's alive because she's, like, in the middle of nowhere because she just came back from Shadesmar and Wit's just, like, hanging out and they just have a little chat.
Yeah, Wit was waiting for her, and they traded information, and that's all we know about it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Huh. What did she tell Wit? So many questions.
Stuff about Shadesmar, presumably. Or maybe not, I don't know.
yeah.
I mean, she knows a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Give me
Well,
Wit.
I'm sure we'll
Bring Wit
find
back.
out.
I want more Wit.
Yeah, where's he at?
Okay, and now we're back to Moash again,
Yep.
and they are marching
He's just
to attack Kholinar.
Yeah, he's just kind of doing hard labor in the meantime, and now he's just kind of, hanging out with the Fused. Now he's the Fused gang.
Yeah, I mean, somebody had mentioned at some point that, like, some of the humans fought alongside the Voidbringers, right?
Yeah.
And we're all thinking, like, what? No, why would they do that?
Mhm.
And now we have
Right.
Moash saying, like, I don't know, the Voidbringers have some good ideas. Like,
Right, yeah.
these guys
This
aren't
is
so
very
bad.
much... This is like, oh man, I would never be one of the Nazis,
Yeah. But here
But,
Moash
here
is
we
being
are.
a Nazi. Oh,
Being a
jeez.
Nazi. Come on,
Um,
Moash. Get it together.
Yeah, so that's kind of yikes. There's one group of the Parshmen who are like pulling a cart or something, and they're getting treated worse, notably worse than even the human slaves.
Right. Yeah, nobody
And-
like beats him or whips him or anything.
Moash goes over to help them because he hates seeing people oppressed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we realize that that group are the people who Kaladin had traveled with.
Yeah.
Kaladin unknowingly kind of ruined their lives.
A little bit, yeah. He was doing so well for him until he wasn't.
And I'm just sitting here thinking, like, man, I really hope Kaladin never learns what he did to these people, because he's gonna feel so bad.
Right, he already like has some sort of kinship with them, and now he's just made them slaves, which he knows firsthand how terrible that is.
Yeah, so Moash is gonna go help these people. Moash is marching with the Voidbringers.
Right.
He's on Team Voidbringer, and that's just
Right.
how it be.
But yeah, kind of all these people are almost like de facto bridgemen again, sort of.
Yeah,
Which maybe that's comforting to him. I don't know.
maybe. And what's kind of weird because even back when they were in the bridge crews, it was often true that like even Parshmen aren't treated this poorly,
Right? Yeah.
And now here we have the same sort of thing on the opposite side, where now the Parshmen are in charge, the Voidbringers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they have their fellow Parshmen they're treating worse than the human slaves, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It is kind of a foil to what was going on.
It's been mirrored around a little bit.
Yeah.
And hey, that wraps up the reading for this week.
Yep.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Not,
Next time,
not a lot of crazy stuff, but just mysterious Yasna past.
Yes.
To look forward to.
Yes, that's the thing I most want to learn about. I think that we kind of covered here, and I just
Yeah.
hope Teft's okay. I just hope that Teft can kind of
Right.
get
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
maybe
sure he'll
maybe
get
once he
together,
really starts
but-
developing some Stormlight powers, he'll be able to heal off any drug effects all
Right.
the time, and it'll just be cool. I don't know.
Yeah, like the drunkenness that Shallan does.
I kind of doubt it though.
Yeah, it doesn't seem quite that easy.
Yeah. Okay. Next time we're gonna read chapters 49 through 57.
Okay.
Bring us up to the end of part 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's a grand total of only 26,000 words. Short little one.
Oh, that's real short, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Sam, we're getting close to book 4. I mean, we're not even halfway yet, but it just feels like every time we read a section and I see how far into the book we are, I'm like, oh, we're getting close.
It is on the horizon. Also, I think we mentioned this already on the show, but
Oh yes,
Dawn Shard, book 3.5,
yes, the
is going to
novella.
come out sometime in October, and I think our schedule might work out so that we just happen to have like just enough time to read it.
Yeah, because we did Edge Dancer in a weekend, so if this is any similar length,
Yeah, I think it is going to be probably a week or two.
should be Gucci gang. I have not yet pre-ordered this book, and I probably should do that for both of them.
Yeah, I really
So
hope
you're gonna be
I don't
High
know.
demand.
I think honestly with these next couple of books, John, I might stop listening to the books on tape and start just reading.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
I don't know. It's. I think I generally enjoy reading more than audiobooks, but
Yeah, I think
I
I
was
just
just
want to be
thinking
more
about-
fully focused.
yeah, right. Yeah, it is. It's easier to know exactly what you're, to not be distracted, I guess, while reading.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about it just a few days ago, and I was like, I need to just sometime listen to, like, I don't know, I'm sure there's like a free trial or something of the audiobooks for these, just to see how like the voices of the characters compare to the ones in my head.
Oh, sure.
Because I was thinking about it. I was like, oh my gosh, what does Dalinar actually sound like in, like Kramer's voice or whatever?
It's like Kramer's most epic fantasy voice.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
I mean, that's. Yeah, in my head, it's very regal and
Yeah.
cool sounding. So yeah, I just thought about that. I was like, oh man, all these characters have voices that are probably different than how I'm thinking of them.
Also, John, let's stew on this a bit, but I think that once we finish this book,
Mhm.
if there does end up being an extra week in there between Dawn Shard, which is the name of book 3.5, and Rhythm of War.
Yeah.
I think I want to do something. I want to spend a week to do a tier list
Okay.
where we put every named character who has come
Ooh.
up across all of the books so far
All right.
in
I'm
a
into
tier
this.
list. It'll be like
Yeah, that
hundreds of
sounds super fun.
characters, and we're gonna probably not even remember several of them.
Yeah,
But
but no, that sounds awesome. Yeah,
I
I'm
think that
down
could
to
be
do
kind of
that.
fun.
I love meaningless tier lists,
Yeah.
which sounds sarcastic, but I am 100% genuine about it.
No, yeah, I totally like every once in a while on Reddit there will be a tier list that comes up where like it's rating all of the melee characters, but it's putting them in tiers based on whether or not they use a gun. So you have like gun tier, like almost a gun tier, like just
Right.
like all this. I don't know.
Yeah,
Steven tier lists are
random.
really fun.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
you can get a signed book from Barnes and Noble. Just straight up order a signed
Ooh,
copy.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
Brandon Sanderson really he signs a lot of stuff.
Yeah. No, that's what I noticed with like pretty much every book I get that's new. It's like really easy to just get them signed. Like with the Green Brothers, which is all that I know about book manufacturing. Like they just get sent a billion sheets of paper and they sign all of them and then they get bound into the book like during manufacturing. So.
Yep. That's how Brandon Sanderson does. He does a lot of signing videos, on YouTube. Or while he
sure,
signs,
yeah.
he answers questions. And
Yeah,
yeah, he
I
just
think
gets
that's a good
a
way to do
big
it.
stack of sheets of paper that will be bound into books later, just like you said.
Sure.
All right, let's
All
wrap
right.
it up for this week.
Okay.
All right, thanks for watching or listening. I love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.